Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come into this one 0-6 on the year, and really it's sort of just been one thing after another.
Coupled with they don't start very fast. The first quarter's really been an issue for them. They've got to learn to get out of the gates quicker in order to try and win some games.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Winston. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that told me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
To throw, Young, forced out to his left. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And a peek now at the offense for Tampa Bay.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 53 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Young from the shotgun. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pick. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator.
And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
The numbers there for Gonzalez in last week's effort. 4 catches, 61 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Winston. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
A first down throw for Young. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 61 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And he'll give it here to his running back, extending the arm.
Oh, yes, it works.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
57 Here we go. Double time.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And those are the kind of plays that this unit needs to make, because they know that going against a team of this magnitude and the way that they're playing, they cannot afford to let them get on a roll early. Chip away at their timing.
On 2nd down now, Swift. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Young. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Well, they have to be loving this start to the first quarter.
Well, the way that they're going, I mean, you're talking about 2 touchdown drives already. They feel very confident and feel like they have all the answers in this game. They're 1 point away from going up 14-0. Maybe they press the advantage and go for 2.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Now a give right side. It's Manning. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Ready. Black 22. Let's go defense. Let's go defense.
On 3rd down, Manning. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And maybe he's starting to win. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Young. To throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office, the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
He's going deep for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Young. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It's taken on the 25. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Winston over the middle, and it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked into the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jameis again. And that's going to be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Young to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Young to throw it. He's going to run, but he's got a long. Now Young loses the football. It's stripped. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Going to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Let him know, let him know.
On 3rd down, Winston finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. He's going deep for Brown, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Single. Watch 88.
Now Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gonzalez. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 1st down, Winston. He's got his man on the out route. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Jameis to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again with Winston. He's going to find Gallup here complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing in
and a big loss here as he's taken down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young will set to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Young. Got him in. It's Brown. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But
this is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. So the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a man whose father won 2 rings as a Bronco. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand. He's got it at the 15. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got them set. A first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for 13 at a Denver first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the first down marker at the Bucs 26. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Winston. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. To throw is Winston. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2nd and goal from the 1. Winston. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On 1st and 10, Young. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34. Now Young, flushed out right. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now here's Young, flush to his right. He may try and run for them. Now Young loses the football. It's stripped. It's picked up by the Broncos. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark. No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies. Winston now after the fumble recovery. And this one is caught. So they come up with a 2-point conversion, and that makes this a 1-point game now. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it. Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Young. Complete to Myers, the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Young working out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back. And Winston lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Ready? Black 25.
A first down throw for Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Winston. Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end Gonzalez. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Winston now. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? On 1st and 10, Winston. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football. You want to get your team back into the game, but it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors. Yet still play perfect football.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Winston looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Here we go.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. On the left side, Gallup's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective, is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Winston.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, just an absolute killer. A chance to get this back within 1 score.
All hope not gone yet, but at the same time, you're exactly right. They needed to get back within 1 score and have a motivated defense take the field in order to get it back for them for one last big drive.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer 1st down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Young here to throw. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Young. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. An 8-yard touchdown run as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something."
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
We're going to shut you down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
No, possession's over. Possession's over.
After review of the play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on second down. Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Jameis to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Tampa Bay, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents